Well, hey there, everyone. Snoo back again. It's time for part 2. Jumping straight into the second segment of the 1000 Crimson Temple map. This will be maps 101 to 200. Gonna set a goal of getting at least 2 Apothecaries drops this time. Hope that I get more than 1, because if I'm only getting 1, I'm not gonna be satisfied. Maybe I'll get 3. I'll be right back on good track. Anyway, looking forward to this farm. Looking forward to some better results. That's what I'm hoping anyway. You will see a familiar picture here with a dump tab with the exact same amount of currency on the left hand side. Nothing really has changed in the pricing. There has been a few minor fluctuations in the Valley of Scarabs and or Crimson Temple maps. But the Exalt and currency cover the cost of the Sextants. Once again, the Sentinels are not even factored in because I self-sustained them. They are pretty good Sentinels. By the way, I forgot to mention in the last video, I've started putting my Sentinel controller tree into the description below. So if you want to see the picture of it, you can. And for the record, here it is anyway. I think it's pretty standard tree. It's basically the tree I've ran this whole time. It's really nice. And I do think Sentinels play a pretty strong role in any kind of farming, mapping this league, although with this particular farm, once again, it really is kind of all about the Apothecary drops, or luring bounty drops maybe, because apparently that's a thing. Getting trolled by the game from the last one. I would like to show you right here, there is a Conquer influence Crimson Temple map. Now you might be thinking, well, what in the world is this thing doing here? It's in here because it was a drop among 2 other Conquer influence 8 mod corrupted maps. You see when I run this 8 mod corrupted Sextant right here, sometimes the map boss drops a corrupted map. Now if it doesn't drop as a Crimson Temple, well then I probably won't even see it, assuming that I have only Crimson Temple favorited. But if it does, then it's mine and I can just simply run it. I think it's best to simply just run the map as it is. But anyway, yeah, this video and the ones from here on out are going to be a lot shorter because I'm not going to repeat, the long detailed information behind what the strategy is. Go watch the first video if you haven't seen it, if you want to see a more detailed expression. However, you'll still see here golden nuggets of information. The chat is here. You can always chat with me, ask questions. If you're watching live, you will be privy to that. So I recommend checking out the Twitch and watching live if you would like. So I will draw you down here to the excellence window. 25.55 Exalt. That's yeah, a little bit less than it was last time. Again, Scarab fluctuations in prices basically. So let's go ahead and reset all of that. Okay, yep, just showing that to you real quick. Should be pretty familiar. Oh, actually, I was supposed to take these other ones over here. Yeah, so doing something a little bit different this time. Going to start with a Conquer influence map. It's not really going to change anything. I'm still going to run the map the same way for the most part. Maps 1 through 100 gave me 22.5x an hour. At a 6.75 hours, I'm hoping to maybe possibly shrink that time down to 6.5 hours. I know I'll be definitely getting a bit faster. I went ahead and took a look at my old cemetery videos. There was also a 6.5 hour farm. However, the cemetery is much easier to clear in a shorter time. But for those videos, I believe I was doing Legion, I think, so that would have added some time there. Would have been made up for kind of some of the difference in that way. Yeah. Alright, so I think we are ready to go. Hope I'm not forgetting anything. Looks good on my end. I've already got a question in the chat. Asked, I saw in your video your ascendancy was Raider. Well, it was, oh, and you thought it was a Deadeye. Well, it did start as Deadeye. It started as a Deadeye Soulthirst, non-Magic Find character before. But now the final form of this character is Raider, because once you get plenty of plus arrows from mirror tier quivers and bows and stuff like that, it doesn't really matter anymore, and you can just go to Raider and get the phasing and the onslaught movement speed increases, things like that, and I think that's actually far superior. Also, you get the spell suppression, so you no longer need it on any gear, which unlocks a lot of magic find gearing options too. So it's just much better, but it definitely is not better until you acquire a super well geared character, in my opinion. So I do not recommend going Raider as a tornado shot unless you have a whole bunch of gear, and yeah, it comes to a certain point where the movement speed and the phasing and the gearing flexibility kind of outweighs everything else. Alright, pretty nice map to start with, considering I got that movement speed buff right away. Oh, red star off the front. Not even part of the highlight reel. That is the map 1 Apothecary drop. That is actually not the first time that's happened to me. Off stream, of course. You know, set up like a 36 or 48 map farming session. Blam! Just Apothecary drops on map number 1. That's the second time that's happened to me. So, oh wow! I actually spawned the hideout here. Interesting. I should probably go do that. Some extra loot. Well, that's exciting. You know, I'm just hoping to get, you know, at least two Apothecaries in 100 maps, and now I only have to get 1 in 99 maps, or maybe even 0 in 99 maps, because the second Apothecary could drop actually. So that is a thing possible. Let's see what this map looks like. Only 156% quantity, actually, not all that impressive, to be completely honest. So it's not like I have extraordinary stats going on for this map. At least whatever. Should die really quickly. Yeah, because I think I had Soul Eater, although I'm not really sure if I did or not. So that, you know, it'd be cool if that dropped from a Conquer Influence monster, but I kind of doubt it. I think I actually just dropped from a Strongbox. I'm gonna go check out this. You know, this is a lucky map. Maybe I think it is wise to actually go through here. Yeah, especially with Delirium monsters here. I know stuff can drop in this room. I even think, like, if there's a second room, it can drop there too. I should probably make this place my hideout now, shouldn't I? You think it would increase my Apothecary drop rate if I made it my hideout? If you think I should make this my hideout, tell me in the comments below. I imagine some of you would appreciate it if I did anything to my hideout, because I haven't even touched it in basically forever. So yeah, if you're tuning in right now, this is map number 1. Apothecary is already dropped in map number 1. Pretty cool. Cool business. Easy game is easy. Not the least bit surprised. I'm actually disappointed that I didn't. I honestly would have rather this Apothecary dropped on map number 100 in the first session. That would have made me feel a lot better, in which case I would have made 28x an hour, not 22, but you know, I'll just crack 30x an hour for this session, I guess, and pull the average up that way. Sound good? Oh, I even got a raw divine orb. Oh, well, okay. Should probably focus on, you know, looting properly. I think that's everything. One last swing down the middle. Oh, what? Watch this thing drop something crazy. Sneaky strong box. Sneaky strong box. Okay, I think that's it.
Hello.
Question in chat, can you change ascendancy? Well, yes, my friend, you can. You have to go do the lab again. You can do like the original lab. You go in there with at least 5 regret orbs, you can change everything. Everything in your ascendancy. You just can't change your class. That's it. Okay, back to a more normal map. Do I think you can make a good character for juicing? Yes, I do. Well, I looked away and red stars dropped out of the Divine or Strong box, I think. You know what that means. A couple of alluring bounties, right? Oh, no, okay, it was, never mind. It was Arcana Strong box. Double Exalted Orb. It's actually the first Exalted Orb I've gotten this series. So, I'm a little unlucky on Exalted Orbs, but I tend to make it up for in double drops, I guess. Arcana Strong boxes. Pulling some weight. No. This is, I posted the video on the first set, like an hour ago. This is set number 2. I'm just starting it. But an Apothecary already dropped. Dragon's Heart. Well, there you go. That lovely item. Damn, I don't know. Maybe I should hit Divination. I should probably... Yeah, I should hit Divination card on that. Being this early in the map. Maybe. Maybe not. Pretty hard to say. Dragon's Heart. 2 Dragon's Heart really quick. Just like last time. Flaring Imbued Wand. I just sold a few of those for 1x each. Flaring Imbued Wand is now 1x Recombinator base. Wild. Actually, the Dictator is not as worth as much because it's evidently. I actually like that Josh Strike guy. I've watched his content sometimes, like on the just generally speaking. I watch a lot of MMO content because that's the type of genre I played for a while. 7 years bad luck. There it is. Glad to get on that train. Again, no duplicated Divination card chance. Even though that was towards the end of the map. Good timing for it to drop. Got all the altars already, but I do have some quantity altars actually. So, yeah. Maybe it dropped because of an altar after all. Yay! 46% chance for maps to be duplicated right now. Target farming maps on this run. This is even a beyond rolled map. Come on. So many rare monsters. Well, maybe it's because I switched the taboo, like I opened the map and then swapped my favorited tree around. I think it actually does freaking do terrible things to the code of the game. Yeah, I probably fucked myself there. God, it's so annoying. It's really rare that a single map doesn't drop. And it's basically can't happen with it. Oh, what? What? Well, okay then. That solves that problem. Or maybe I'm just making shit up. Merciless Staff. Change subject. Oh, I'm enlightened. I have been enlightened. Now I have found every card. I can quit the game now. Enlightened. how the lab thing and then the series side area, those things have such a high chance to spawn because they're influenced by the block mechanics? It's so dumb. I would rather block them than anything else. Pick up a bunch of stuff on the map. What is this? 2 Unrequited Love.
I'm not up to that just yet.
Whoa. Whoa. Okay, did the game just like change on me or something? Because I'm getting like more out of random non-map specific divination cards than the specific one. And I'm not sure if that was from a strong. Actually, yeah, there were a ton of strong boxes right there in the front, I remember. I'm pretty sure that's once again a Diviner strong box, duplicated rewards. Massive payout there. That card is, that's a big card. That's no, that laughs in the face of alluring bounty value. Well, I will take it. What am I gonna do? 7 years bad luck. Right. Okay. Oh my god, that just eats me up right there. God. Running too fast. Killed, went past an altar to run back and get it afterwards, but it spawned duplicate divination card. Oh no. No, I did not get credit. Could have duplicated that 7 years bad luck if I had been a little bit more pro, I guess. I'm just not pro, that's the problem. Not actually a good player. Only I was better at the game. Huh. I gotta get faster, man. Not running it fast enough right now. See that? Where'd that come from? I don't think it was a Sentinel reward, although it was at the moment that I spawned a Sentinel. You know what's actually curious? Wait, that was a Sentinel. No, I don't have a quantity. Thought maybe I had a quantity roll on there. Second Apothecary in the bag for the next 100 maps, so that automatically makes this farming session exponentially better than the first one, which the first one gave me 22x per hour. Even not counting the double Unrequited Love drop, probably sitting comfy at around 27x per hour with this farm session, counting the double Unrequited. I mean, well, let's just say this session has a chance of cracking 40x an hour. I'd say it almost certainly will if I hit one more Apothecary before the end, which is pretty wild. Oh my god. You guys hear that? It was off my screen, so I don't even know what that is. Completely off my screen. There's another red star that nobody knows what it is yet. I like to play a little game where I tease you guys when, I mean, I'm teasing everybody, including myself, when this happens. So I think that's fun to do. Because usually I'm gonna see what it is like immediately. It's gonna drop in my face. Occasionally, that's not the case. I turn the screen on. The red star, mystery red star, about to be identified. There it comes. 3, 2, 1. The Enlightened. Well, that's just fitting, I think, right? Because I recently found a 7 years bad luck and an Apothecary, so kind of deserved for that to be an Enlightened, I'd say. And there's Divination cards duplicated. Roll. Now I'm duping div cards, but I still got a lot of strong boxes to open here.
Are you the hunter, or are you the prey?
Well, Enlightened playing catch-up over here. Barely even started the map. Then whoop, Enlightened, there it is. Shit, almost stepped that up. I didn't realize it. I practically ran through the deli fog completely. Very close. Stepping that up. Oh, Aegosaur. Oh, I keep finding that item. These farming sessions suddenly. Isn't that interesting?
I'm not up to that just yet.
Salted orb. Mediocre. Combinator base. Not high value. Seven years bad luck. Whew. This is a map. This is definitely a map. See how much value I get out of this movement speed shrine? This is unreal. How much extra value I get out of this. Just the fact that I get this even occasionally on the map is doing wonders for my overall clear time. Flaring Opal Wand. Might be a 1x Recombinant base. Actually, I think all Flaring Wands are 1x Recombinant bases at this point.
I'm not up to that just yet.
The market's gotten really active on those. A little bit to be expected. Recombinant base is actually kind of going up in value. Markets maybe overall a little bit less active, but more than their inactivity, the supply. Oh, hey! This is well, I mean, this is just the ultimate premium recombinator drop right here. Not the greatest base, but it doesn't matter. Perfectly clean Exalter's magic amulet is... I've sold them for no less than 3x a piece, and I've sold like half a dozen this league, including one recently. Hey all, it is time for the results. They're quite interesting, to say the least. This session went much better than the first session, primarily on the account of one huge drop that occurred, and that would be... letting out the cat out of the bag here. Well, I think I will just show you right here. Whoop. Not the top line. Unrequited Love, quantity 2. This was a double divination card drop that came out of a diviner strong box, evidenced by the highlight reel. It will be definitely on there from the point in which I open the box, the point where I come back around and get that drop. Now, this card is extremely valuable, one of the absolute highest end cards, and yes, I am going to count it, especially to the 1,000 runs. I mean, that part of the reason I decided to do such a large sample size is to account for a few bizarrely good drops like this, as well as to account for some streaks of really bad RNG, you know, where the inevitable 100 map session that I'm not going to get any Apothecaries, I'm bound to have that happen. That wasn't this session. This may turn out to be, this particular 100 map session may turn out to be the most lucrative one of all 1,000 runs. Wouldn't be surprised, because Unrequited Love is essentially the same value as the Apothecary. As you can see, it's a little bit less. Oh, this is kind of crazy. The Apothecary card's actually going up in value recently. Okay. That's a thing. Anyway, just take a glance here. 2 Apothecaries. First one on map number 1. The second one came, I don't know, map number 65, something like that. The double Unrequited Loves. We got 14 Raw Exalts, 3 7 Years Bad Luck, so a little bit better there. A lot of maps, tons of stacked decks, but not quite as many. I did not run quite as many Diviners or Divination Sentinel reward. Sentinel Divination rewards, rather. And not quite as many of those, so that's why there's fewer stacked decks, I think. A lot of Burial Medallions. Actually ran at least like 3 Expedition Reward Sentinels this time around, so I had a lot of Expedition currency on this one. Simulacrum 16, yeah, Divine Orbs, so kind of the usual thing here. Let's check out Uniques really quick to see that. Once again, an Aegis dropped. Yeah, towards the end. And that's weird. Its price is fluctuating too. I think this is not really accurate. It says 120 chaos. That's not accurate at all. I mean, this thing's worth at least 1 exalt, even at the very low end, uncorrupted. You can see that the aside from that drop, I mean, the uniques were pitifully missing from this list. Hardly anything at all there. But anyway, that's kind of the just sort of general showing. Unrequited Love. So again, I'm gonna kind of address this with whatever the amount is for the currency per hour on the title of this video. That is a representation of how much currency per hour I made on this particular 100 map farming sessions. I know quite often the title of the video sort of represents a range, a sort of respectable range as to what, you know, you might expect to make, and usually my amount is kind of on the high end of that range, and then I kind of go ahead and do my best to factor in, you know, a somewhat slower, a somewhat less mirror tier worthy character might do, but still, you know, a very fast character, fairly high end mapping character could perform if they were to try to kind of match what I'm doing. But in this case, again, because we're going, you know, 1,000 maps, we're going, this is an endurance race, so to speak. I'm just titling it with what I made in that particular session. So apologies somewhat for the clickbaity title of the, I haven't checked yet, but I know it's going to be well over 30x an hour for this particular farming session, counting the Unrequited Love. So we'll go ahead and see, you know, for fun, what it was without those 2 cards, because that will actually, I think, if I didn't count these 2 cards, this would be a pretty typical session, and it's still going to be, you know, close to 30x an hour, I think. So let's find out. Pull up everything that I need to pull up. Oh, that's out of place. Ooh, there we go. Okay, so we started with an investment 25.55 exalts. We got 264. So we'll take 264.06. And then we're going to add 15 because I have a total of 15 fully leveled awakened gems. I'm counting each of these at 1x. That's honestly pretty conservative in my opinion. Anyway, we're going to count those there. And then we also got to count the recombinator bases that are absolutely not calculated into excellent. 1 super high value, 1 exalters, clean amulet right here. We got a couple other really, really good ones, such as a dictator's spine bow right there. I started including magisters staffs. It was an accident of mine to not include those in the first 100 maps, as well as on the preset for the Tom's loot filter and the preset that I came out with a video. That has since been fixed, by the way, so if you want to re-download that or re-update that, or just simply go in and turn on the Magister's prefix for staffs, you should do it because they're worth well over 1x clean like this. A few other things, some of the markets are getting really hot on these items, like staffs or war staffs are like selling, just flying off the shelf at 1 to 2x a piece. Flaring dictators and merciless, regardless of the base. I don't really know why people are crafting war staffs, but they are. Basically, any T1 prefix imbued wand is worth at least 1x at this point. It's also a hot market. Of course, Magister's scepters are 2, 3, maybe 4x a piece. Always been selling those like crazy. So we got 16 high value recombinator bases. These are all being counted at 1x a piece. Again, pretty conservative, but they do not sell. They do not all sell in one day. Well, they might actually all sell in one day if I posted them for 1x a piece. Actually did. But I will sell some of these for 2 or even 3x. That amulet for sure, at least 3x. I won't even settle for anything less than that, given how that market has been going. Yeah, so that's an extra 16x there. That's 295. So that's our gross. 295.06. 295.06. Okay, and then we take that minus the investment cost, which, you know, the strategy of buying, if really ironed out a nice, fairly low-cost strategy. 48 chaos per map is really cheap, in my opinion. So we're ending with a whopping 269.1x in, again, 6 hours and 45 minutes. So I timed the first 50 maps, and it took me... I did them straight with no break. Did a pretty good job focusing on there, and actually beat my time for the first 100 map session. Not a big surprise. Getting better at the farm, getting a little bit more efficient. Still trying to pay attention to chat fairly well. Kind of a lot to juggle actually. And then so that first 50 maps was in 3 hours and 17 minutes, I think. So actually getting pretty close to 6 hours and 6.5 hours for 100 maps. We may or may not see that happen. Hopefully, I can. But for now, this is going to be divided by 6.75. That's 40x an hour. That's, well, that's the title of the video. 40x an hour. All right. So let me actually go in and see here in a second what kind of X per hour would have made if you don't count the unrequited loves. You know, because I know it's a reasonable criticism to say, why are you counting that in 100 maps in particular. I think. What is this worth right now? 36 exalts. Now see, that's absolutely bogus because literally shows right there 42x and then the top says 36, so that's not even accurate. But anyway, excellence is counting this at... Excellence is being like ultra conservative. Off by a factor of 6 exalts apparently per card. Actually, I'll double check that here. Hold on a second, I'm actually going to double check that. See if it's off. So if this only says like 36x, then oh, oops, hold on a second. Yeah. Yeah. So actually I made a lot more than 40x an hour because it's counting the unrequited loves at 6 exalts a piece lower than their actual market value. And that's kind of because it's late in the league, and a lot of people are trying to get the mirror, the value of mirrors goes up significantly towards the end of the league. So I don't know, we don't have to worry about it too much, but interesting to note that it is underrepresented by a factor of 6 exalts a piece. So that's 12 exalts in total that I'm essentially being shafted by the excellent. Not a big deal anyway, but you know, important to point out, I think. In my opinion, excellence has a tendency to be conservative on a lot of these things, because a lot of these things sell in bulk for more than they're worth, or you have weird situations like this where it's just not actually being honest with the pricing. So 72 exalts minus is what we'll do. So if I take again for fun 269.51 minus 72, so this would be what I made without the unrequited love drops, divided by 6.75. Okay, that's still almost 30x an hour. So even not counting that, it's still, especially if you count the, well, anyway, yeah. I think I almost misspoke there, but yeah, 29x an hour there. So yeah, that's the results there. Don't got a whole lot to say about that. You can comment in the comments section down below. Tell me what you actually think about that. We can have a discussion on that, no problem. But now comes the really fun part, and gotta do the gamble. Gamble time. And that is going to include me first double corrupting a bunch of Awaken Enhance support gems, Awaken Empower support gems, a bunch of shields. Still selling these shields, making nice profit off of them too. I actually have a gold worm in here to do as well. Anyway, I'll get started on that now. And if you want to see that, you have to tune in live. Sorry. Alright, this is one for the money right here. Take that! 1 out of 8. Success. 1 out of 8. How much is this worth? Yeah, stupid thing will cooperate. There we go. Alright, you ready for this? Level 4 Corrupted Awakened Empower support. 4 exalts, 6 exalts, 7 exalts. Level 5 Awaken Empower support. 250 exalts. Wow. Wow. Well, that's some money. That's a little bit of money. I guess I can afford another 0.1% upgrade now. Nice. On that note, the gambling session is over. And we have way too many shields survived with some really bizarre RNG. A total of 8 of the 12 shield double corrupted into white sockets. But one did actually do a full double corruption, and I don't know what this is worth, but I'm guessing it's... Actually, I really don't know what this is worth. Let's take a... I'm not sure max block is really worth all that much. This probably isn't really worth all that much. I suspect. I could be wrong. Probably like 10x, 20x at the absolute max. But anyway, that's not nearly the most the exciting part. The stakes were much higher on the awakened exceptional gems. We have 2 level 3s, so 2 down. 7 stayed. And 3 up, including a jackpot level 5 power support, which is the difference between something like 5x and apparently now 250 exalts. These awaken and power supports cost me at the time, I'm not really sure, something between 45 and 55 exalts uncorrupted to level. And I think this is like my 6th one double corrupting and finally hit 1. So I'm not like way ahead on these, by the way, but at least this certainly made up for some of the other losses there. Okay, so very last thing I want to say, I do need to mention one more thing about the Unrequited Love thing and how this particular session turned out to be 40x an hour. Why I am accepting those 2 cards as part of the drops. You may recall at the beginning of the first session, I said I would not be including Mage Bloods, Raw Mage Bloods, or Raw Headhunters into the equation whatsoever, even across the entire 1,000 maps. And the reason is twofold. One, extremely rare drop. But 2, and perhaps even more importantly, I'm not target farming those at all. My character is not... I am running a magic find character, but it's actually quantity based, not rarity based. I still have less than 100% additional rarity on gear. I'm not even running a rarity support gem. That's how much I really don't care about rarity support, and it's reflected in how little value I get out of uniques. Now, this league is particularly poor for farming uniques, so I just think it's probably wiser to put all your eggs in one basket, so to speak. And for me on this farm, that's quantity farming, which means I'm pulling out more divination cards, naturally. Also, not just from focusing on magic find quantity-based farming. This is a divination card farming strategy. And that does not just mean the map-specific divination cards. It also means all kinds of divination cards. I'm running sentinels that quite often have divination rewards on them. A huge part of the synergy is in the duplicated divination card altars, as well as sometimes the percent chance to drop divination card altars for the eldritch minions. That spawns up to like 6% a piece. But also, and perhaps the biggest factor, this farming strategy is a strongbox farming strategy, which is uniquely tailored towards getting random divination cards, not just map-specific divination cards. I know I'm target farming the map-specific divination cards via the Sextant, the increased quantity from the monsters to spawn, but obviously there are a lot of diviner strongboxes across this entire 1,000 maps. I don't know how many I'll open, but it's going to be a ton, and that is essentially, a crap load of open to stack decks opening all at once. And between the altars, the percent chance to drop divination card altars, which are also function as a pre-open to stack deck, And we don't even get to see what those are because I'm only showing really high value divination cards. So actually, there's a huge number of divination cards, random divination cards that are dropping in each map. They're dropping as random sentinel rewards. They're dropping as divination card focused sentinel rewards. They're dropping from diviner strong boxes. They're dropping from the altars where they just drop from the eldritch minions raw. And so there's just a whole bunch of random divination cards that are dropping. You're bound to see over the long run some crazy drops like that. We've already seen a bunch of alluring bounties, a couple of samurai eyes, and was it that one with the automatic 23 level 6 23 awakened gem? I forgot the name of it. And Unrequited Love. So that's kind of my basis for counting it on there. But I will say that it is an extremely rare drop. I still, it's not as rare as Headhunter or Mageblood, I don't think. But yeah, I am counting it primarily on the grounds that there's just a whole lot of synergy going on that include random divination card drops. So I think it's perfectly reasonable to include it, especially in the 1000 map. And I kind of already explained why I'm formatting all of these maps in such a way that I'm just declaring what I made, in that 100 map session. So I know it's going to be kind of crazy, 40x an hour. Sounds pretty crazy, but that is indeed what I made in this farming strategy. And actually, a fair bit more than that if you count the gambling portion, I think. But we're not counting the gambling portion that way. Yes, so that is all I got for you in this video. Obviously, my head's held up high for the next session. We'll do maps number 201 to 300 fairly soon. Kind of busy right now, but they'll be coming your way. And whoops, I just realized I forgot to do this. Woo. Oh, okay. Well, nothing there. Anyway, I'm out for now, and this was a fun one. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and try not to get too spicy with the comments. Stay tuned for the next video. It was fun. There's more to come. See you for now.